See? He did do it after all.
No, you're wrong.
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction?
But it does destroy his alibi quicker.
You possess a most terrifying talent.
Damn, if I don't do something, they're gonna blame me for the murder. Don't they understand? They can make me, everyone's gonna die.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, we still have lots of evidence.
Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Yes, the whole door thing.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Your first hangman scab is supposed to get. Would you like to hear more? Yes, please explain everything before I die! The Sphinx events further on the class trial, the hangman scab will eventually take place. The point of this is to reveal an important phrase related to the incident in question. You have to deduce the phrase from the letters flying around and the letters already known. The complete phrase was shooting down the flying letters in the right order. Use the mouse to aim, then press the left mouse button to shoot the signed letter. If you're down the wrong letter, you'll suffer damage to your influence gauge. If this gauge is 0, or if you run out of time, you fail. Well, good luck and have fun! Even though the C must be a crucial point. Just figure out what this something is. This is an interesting one. Hair! That should have been hair!
Now I understand. That's right. There wasn't a single hair on the floor.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there. That makes sense, does it not?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Ha ha ha! Yes, very true, very true.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then, Makoto isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
I would like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene? Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yes.
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
The killer struggled getting into the bathroom, and the evidence proves it is the object the killer broke. Yeah, they broke the doorknob.
I got it! Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Okay then, let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
You said it was a bewildering act. I almost didn't notice at first, but is that the key point here? There's a bit more to learn about the non-stop debate. We'll actually more— Yes, please! From here on out, the number of weak spots will start going up. But no matter how much weak spots, there's essentially only one line for the debate. What I'm trying to say is, not all weak spots you see are necessarily false. You stumble on the wrong one, and not only will you fail to refute what they said, but also lower your trust with everyone, and your influence gauge will take damage. Now this is important, because if your influence gauge reaches 0, you fail. You also rely on your own logic to determine which weak spots actually lies or contradictions. Well, then good luck and have fun. Right, what are we loading up with? The bathroom door front.
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka
True.
was first attacked in the main room.
Which is true.
She then fled into the bathroom.
True.
Then the killer ran after her,
Yep.
and they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door,
Also true.
because Sayaka had locked it.
Hold on.
No, that's wrong. The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with locking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door, that's not lucky at all.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place? Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
Because the
The killer
nameplate was
could
switched
easily
around.
make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
The killer was convinced the bathroom door was locked, so he didn't know that the door was actually couldn't be locked. In other words, the important detail about the scene of the crime is they didn't know was...
I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable.
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
Then there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through.
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
Definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
No! That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up. Quit without saving.
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Then we die. Well, most of
Well,
us.
why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules.
Majority rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Oh, you...
You don't gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
Oh, see, that's the one I've been wondering
Maybe
about.
Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Then... maybe someone picked the lock?
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place.
You do realize that if we get this wrong, you die, right? And it sounds like he's gonna go Vlad the Impaler.
Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
Because she asked me to do something in particular, because how frightened she was. That's the answer right here. There's always like letting someone in because... Well, because of this.
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
The same goes for you, Sayaka. No matter who it is, don't open your door for anyone. Even if I'm sure it's you, I absolutely won't open it. Otherwise, what's the point of even switching?
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Huh? Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
No, she was a good actor. There's something I want to talk to you about, just us two. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Take my nameplate to make sure you don't get the wrong room, okay?
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil, and these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes.
Right, that would also explain why she had the knife, if she wanted to meet somebody she thought was after her. But that seems to indicate we got a motive somewhere.
And I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
Huh?
Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
Which means it was probably Sayaka who switched rooms.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
No, I didn't. But...
Of course you didn't. Because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
And shit over there is just about to blow up. Then, that note. Sayaka wrote it? Yeah, you didn't know her that well. I'm afraid she's kinda played you.
But why? Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Would you like to hear what I have to say?
Yes!
Very well then. Pay attention. Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct?
Yes.
But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
That's true. Well, the dorm nameplates are switched around. No, that's not it.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
Yes.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying in. So in other words, even if someone did read the note and did what it said, they would not have any connection to what happened.
It certainly would seem that way.
Right, I know what statement I need to shoot down. The killer went to my room instead of Sayaka's. The reason for this has to be because we got switched between my second.
Sayaka and Makoto switched what in the note. It specifically... I see. Then they would have gone to Sayaka.
Exactly. The room that Makoto was...
There we go.
It's wrong.
Got one wrong, but...
The nameplates on my and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got... switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, The nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Right?
Okay, then who did it?
I got it! Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.